Hey, hey, what's up, folks? Can you guys hear me? Cool. Some reason this stupid Twitch says I'm hidden for some reason. Well, welcome, guys. Awesome. Glad to have you guys here right off the start. That's great. I've been excited about this all weekend, so I'm excited to get going. Beautiful. All right, well, let me send out a quick tweet so that I remind everybody that we're doing this, and then we will hop right on board. We are live right now. Sorry, guys, I can't quite show you the social feed here, so give me just 1 second. We're live right now with, let's see, we are developing live right now on Twitch. Join us to be part of the development process. Okay. Bingo. Send. Okay, cool. Hi, Sid. DJ Quad, Shadow Ranger, Watu. Welcome, guys. It's great. Um, let's do this. I've been excited about this. All right, so you guys can see my Visual Studio here. It's kind of weird being able to talk and having nobody else be able to talk but text, but that's fine. It works. Just never done that before. Anyways, I got my coffee. I'm good to go. So the first thing I need to do this morning is just get some translation packages going for Russian and Polish. So let me start with that. That should be pretty quick, and that'll probably be the most boring thing we do. But I need to get that done here real quick. So I'm going to go into my LaunchBox source code first and find my custom built resource files creator app here. All right, so first language code we need to use is that. And that will generate a bunch of different language files for Russian. And then I need to do the same thing for Polish. All right. So there's that. And then also, so we'll go into Visual Studio next. And in my forms, where's my show all files here? And I just need to include all these files. And unfortunately, this is going to take a second. Visual Studio should make this easier. So feel free to ask me questions, guys. If you have any questions during development, I mean, I'm live for a reason. So if you do have questions you want to ask, every so often I'll take a look at the dialogue and at the chat and answer some questions. It'll get more interesting here once I'm done with this language package process. The next thing we're going to do after I get done with this stuff is I want to get back into big box development. I'm going to be working on the views, adding some more options for the views. Maybe even, well, one thing I want to try and implement this morning is alpha navigation. And that'll be interesting because I'm not quite sure how visually I want to represent that. So some other stuff I've got on my, well, you see my list right in front of me here on my screen in Visual Studio on the left, if you can read it. Watch me click 10,000 files. This is what I do all day, guys. Highlight files. Not really. There we are. Include in project. Yep, it's all in C#. The whole project. Big Box and LaunchBox both. And to be honest, C# is the reason why I'm able to develop things so quickly. It's the reason why I'm so effective at development, because you know, Hyperspin is built in C++, and everything takes a million times longer to develop in C++. So with C#, I'm able to focus on features. I'm able to focus on everything a lot faster and a lot easier. There's not so much legwork required. There's still plenty of it, but not nearly as much as if I was using, you know, C++ or a lower level language like that. There's not really any lower level languages that people use these days other than C++ or C for this kind of stuff. All right, so we have the resource files in place now for the forms. I need to add the strings one as well. I think I can just ru-ru. Oh yeah, it's weird. Forgot about that. Need a resources file called strings.ru-ru.resx. There it is, and another one. Strings.pl-pl.resx. All right, and we drag these into the properties folder. Okay, there we are. Save everything. I'm going to open up my this is source tree. This is how I manage my Git here. I got a bunch of stuff I haven't checked in apparently. Check those in separately. New resource files for Russian and Polish. I'm just basically committing to my source control here. And I'm going to commit this stuff too. This was Big Box work on CoverFlow horizontal boxes views. Commit. All right. So now we can get into some stuff that's more fun here. Wolfman, welcome Wolfman. He says, "Do you plan a game save manager later on?" That sounds like a great idea to me. Yeah, that's one thing that I would love to have myself. Absolutely. I mean, the the answer when somebody asks, "Do you plan anything later on?" The answer is almost always yes. It's just getting there. So all about the priorities, I guess. But yes, game save manager makes a lot of sense. I'd love to see that. Absolutely. All right. So the next thing I got on my list is button keyboard options for switching views. I think that would be great to add. Um, so that might be a good place to start. Basically, I've had several people ask for the ability to press a hotkey on the keyboard to switch between the new views. So to start, basically, we need to add a new keyboard setting and a new controller setting to map that key. So let me go into the big box project here. Actually, no, it's in the LaunchBox project. I'm going to go into my big box settings. This is general game images. I need mappings, keyboard. Here we go. So I'm using int key codes. Need a table export. Public int keyboard switch view. So basically, I just added an item to the LaunchBox XML big box settings section. So automatically now, when the launchbox.xml file gets saved, this keyboard switch view setting ends up in that file. I have lots of magic code in there to take this, using reflection, take this class and spit it out to XML. So there's that. And then we need something for the controller buttons as well, because we're going to want to be able to do it via controller. Public int controller switch view get set. All right, so we have our setting now. Now inside of the big box options interface, we need to provide a way to change that and then make a default option, a whole bunch of different stuff. Let's start with a default option for those. So that's going to be tricky because I'm not sure what the keyboard binding should be. So first things first, I'm going to have to leave the default blank, and then we'll add a new option to the options pages over here. So under keyboard mappings, here we go. This is what defines all the options that show up in the big box options pages. So this is the keyboard mappings options page, menu items, add new options keyboard mapping item. Looks like we're going to need a new string, label switch view. So that's red because that doesn't exist yet. For language support, so all the translation support, basically anytime I have a string, I have to put the string. Man, Brad's talking to me. Sorry, Brad. I'm live. Leave me alone. All right. So label switch view. Switch view. So basically, based on the language that's active, the right value here will be pulled from one of these different strings files. French, Polish, Brazilian Portuguese, etc. So that's what this is doing here. I've got to separate all the strings into these files so that the right value is pulled for the right language. And this is basically saving and loading the setting. This is keyboard switch view equals item.value. Item.value equals s.keyboard switch view. All right. Hi, ViewBot. Ha. Who knows whether you're actually a ViewBot? All right, so we added our keyboard setting here. We need to do the controller button setting, which should be similar. Strings.label, what is it? Switch view. This is controller switch view equals item.value. Item.value equals s.controller switch view. All right, so that is all we got to add those settings into Big Box. So now, in theory, we should be able to set those settings. So I'm going to go ahead and build. There it is, and we'll start up Big Box. Unfortunately, I have kind of a crappy video card in this system, and so Big Box is not very smooth. I'm running a Dell system, so I never replaced the video card in it. Everything else is really fast, really nice, but the video card's a little bit iffy. All right, so if we go into options and keyboard mappings, we should see, yep, we got switch view down here on the bottom, and we should be able to set that. Looks like, let's see, maybe set it to P. Cool, so that works. And then controller buttons down here. Pull out my controller. Switch view. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my left bumper. And we're going to make sure this saves properly. So I'm going to go ahead and exit. Then restart it. And we'll go back into options, keyboard mappings. Yep, it saved P there for switch view, and it saved button 5 for switch view. Beautiful. So now we have the setting there in place. And then now we can use it. The one thing I want to do though before we go ahead and use it is set the default settings. I'm not sure what I should set the default settings to. Actually, I'm going to set it to V. I'm not sure. I have custom settings set up for my arcade cabinet, and I'm using the what is it? The Rec Room Masters stuff, the controller board. So I'm using all their default settings right now. but not, I don't really necessarily want those default in big box. So controller buttons, what should be the default here? I'm thinking for switch view, we might just want to leave that blank and let the user decide, actually. Probably don't need a default there, because most people are going to want to configure their controllers however they want, and that's not a common, probably won't be a common thing, so we'll leave that blank by default. Keyboard mappings, you know what, really we could leave that blank by default too. We don't really necessarily need a default on that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We don't need a default. No worries. People can set it themselves. All right, Shadow Ranger, he says, in the future, are you planning on changing the mine layout of how it all looks and feels as in the just listing? I'm not really following, Shadow Ranger. Can you rephrase that? In the future, are you planning on changing the mine layout of how it all looks and feels as in the just listing? I am planning on, yeah, I'm not really sure what you're saying. The main layout of how it all looks and feels. Yes, I hope to at least allow people to change that whole thing. Let me show you guys something real quick. So in Big Box here, I have all these views, and these views are done in WPF. It's all XAML. Obviously, there's a ton of code behind these things. But for example, let's pull up the CoverFlow games view here. So this right here, it looks a little bit like HTML, but it's not. It's what's it called? It's XAML is what they call it. And eventually, what I want to do is allow you to be able to allow people who want to theme Big Box to be able to customize this XAML. And this will be our theming engine. And I think it'll work really, really well. It's not super simple to use, so it'll take a little bit of learning to be able to use it, but eventually users will be able to customize this stuff, and I think that'll probably happen fairly quickly. So eventually, yeah, this everything visually will be customizable in Big Box. At least that's the plan, unless we hit some kind of weird roadblock. So that is the goal, to make all this stuff user modifiable. And I'll be honest, you'll be able to break Big Box really easy if you mess it up. But it'll be quite powerful once you're able to modify all this stuff. Yeah, it's XML, so it is markup based. And in a lot of ways, I think it is similar to Kodi. Although I haven't really looked in detail at how Kodi does everything. It does seem to be similar. But you can see, I mean, it'd be really easy to change the font. I mean, little things would be really easy to change. Big restructuring might not be so easy. Coming up with a completely new view style is going to be really tough. However, like moving things around, putting something in a different spot on the screen, really should be pretty simple. Those kind of changes should be pretty easy. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I think that'll be pretty cool once we get into that level of flexibility. And I don't think it's going to be very difficult, really, to get there either. So that's exciting. Okay, so basically we just need to use this view switch stuff. So I think the place to do this is in my main view model. So this is the model that's always running and basically controls all the child views. And I have keyboard processing and controller processing right here. So I'm going to go to my handle joystick button, and we just have a big if then list. We're checking the buttons that have been pressed, and we do something. So else if button equals program.dataManager.BigBoxSettings.controller switch view. At that point, I know that the switch view button was pressed. So I'm going to say this dot on switch view, which is a method that we need to create yet. And then for keyboard, that's in here somewhere as well, right here, handle key down. Else if key value equals program.datamanager.BigBoxSettings.keyboard switch view. If e.is repeat, in other words, if it's being held down, if the keyboard button is being held down, in this case, we want to ignore it. We don't want to let the user constantly hold the keyboard down and switch between stuff, because this is going to be a relatively intensive operation, so we don't want a bunch of them to pile up. That'd be bad. So it's only going to happen the first time it's pressed. So we have on switch view being called from both the controller and the keyboard. We need to go ahead and implement on switch view. So now we need to actually code switching the views. So basically, I need to send this. We got two options here. I could send it to the active view model, so send it to the child view model and have the child switch the views, but that's probably not the smartest approach. This is where it gets complicated as far as how to switch these views and do it properly here. So let's see. If this dot active view model is, for example, boxes games view model. My boxes games view model is the horizontal list of boxes. So then we're going to switch to the next one. Else if this dot active view model is the other one is after boxes we have I think CoverFlow is next. It probably doesn't matter the order, but you know, is text games view model. So those are our three different views, and we need to switch to the next one. So the next question is, how do I switch to the next one? I think I would use the this.show games method, and we need to feed in the current stuff, the filter type and the platform, or the filter type or the platform, depending on what's active. So we have to get the active view settings and feed that in to show the next view. And I'm not sure if those are active or not. The other thing is we're not going to want to cast this up more than once. So I'm going to restructure this a little bit. So var model equals this.active view model as boxes games view model. If model is not equal to null, then we know we have a boxes games view model, and we only have to cast it once. I'm going to actually name this better, boxes model. All right. The active view model as boxes games view model. Boxes model is not equal to null. Then we are able to get boxes model dot. Take a look at the properties on that. So our view models are under here. Games view models, boxes games view model. When we feed in the filter type, we actually have games view model base, which handles that stuff. We feed in the filter type here, and it's stored as filter type, but that's private, so we might need filter type. I want to search the current document for that. Oh, that's right. We call the init method, maybe? Init. Yes, here it is. We call get games. I'm not sure if we store the name or the filter type anywhere. This is virtual as well, so it's overridden by some of these. I think we're going to need to get at this filter type and name value. So we're going to have to make that public with a property. It doesn't even look like I'm storing this locally, which is interesting. So this dot filter type equals filter type, and this dot name, we don't even have that, equals name, so we'll have to add name, and that is apparently read only. That needs changed. That's a relic. Protected filter type, and protected. Yeah, we'll make it protected so it can be inherited or used from inherited classes. String name. There we are. Then if we need to create a property for these, public string. Hi, Brad. Hi, Brad. Oops. Name get return this dot name, and actually we'll restructure this so it's a little cleaner using my wonderful resharper, which I don't use enough. Public filter type, and we're going to do the same thing. This dot filter type. Yeah. You're probably in here somewhere, Brad. Dang it, Brad. In a comment somewhere, I'm sure. No, I'm kidding. All right. Did you catch my my quick Slack message that I got from you, Brad? And I had to kill Slack because you were talking to me in the middle of my live session. You probably forgot about it. I'm just joking. All right. So name and filter type. How's the quality of everything, Brad? Is everything working great? You got to get some. We got to teach Brad how to get some sleep, guys. He's having issues with that. I feel for you, man. That sucks. Awesome. Good to hear. All right, so we have public properties for name and filter type in the games view model base. So if we go to back to the init method, we should be good here. Awesome. Yeah, Brad's sick too, guys. He's got RSS ready though. That's awesome. So that'll be up tomorrow. Retro style spotlight. The only other thing we need to do here with to make sure filter type and name are accessible is I need to make sure I'm not overriding, and if I am overriding that method, this init method, in my inherited classes, that I add this code here. So text games view model, I'm looking for init to see if I'm overriding that. Doesn't look like I am there. CoverFlow, no, I don't want to search for title. Init, there it is, I am. So I need to do that right there. And boxes as well. Nah, looks like I'm not overwriting it there. Great. So now we have access to filter type and name in our main view model. Boxes model. So we're going to say this dot show games. Actually, if boxes model dot filter type equals platform, then this dot show games platform. Interesting. Why am I doing it that way? Yeah. Go to definition. What is platform? That's data. Okay. Well, let's take a look at where that's coming from here. I guess we're going to need to open up platform as well. Okay. Okay. All right, back to games view model base. The init platform. Oh, no duh. Guess what? I forgot about this too. We need to, well, I guess, well, filter type we have to set to platform in here. So this dot filter type equals filter type dot platform, and then this dot platform equals platform. We're going to have to add a variable for platform. Protected platform, and another property. Public platform, this dot platform. Ooh, I messed this up too. Way to go, Jason. That would create a never-ending loop and it would crash everything. Just changing that lowercase f to a capital one, I'd break everything. Yeah, gotta be careful. All right, so that's done. And again, I've got to look at the init methods. There was one of these that had it. I think it was CoverFlow. Platform. So this dot filter type equals filter type dot platform, and this dot platform equals platform. Now we can get at the platform. That's all I ever do, Brad, is I break things. Break things until they work again. All right, so where were we? On switch view, there it is. This dot show games, and this is the boxes model dot platform. Now that we finally have it. Otherwise, this dot show games it's a different filter type, so boxes model dot filter type, boxes model dot name. Boom. That's right. Everything I say has staying power. I don't know. Just being an idiot. I've learned from the game chasers that I should just be cocky and people will watch me. prideful and cocky and everything else. All right. Now for, oh, we need to get rid of that. Actually, we need to return here after that because we're all set. Var CoverFlow model equals this dot active view model as CoverFlow model, CoverFlow games view model. If CoverFlow model is not equal to null, then we, wait a second, this isn't going to work. Showing the games, we gotta switch the view before we show the games. Fool. So we're gonna want to restructure this a little bit again. Let me var text model equals this dot active view model as text model. No, text games view model. If text model is not equal to null, yada yada yada. So here's what we're going to do instead. I'm going to create some variables. We're going to say platform and string name and filter type. So create those variables, and we're just going to set those variables. And actually, I'm going to cut that out. So if boxes model, and I don't want to cut all that out because we're going to say platform equals filter type dot no platform equals boxes model dot platform filter type equals filter type dot platform, and name will be name equals null, even though it's already null. Otherwise, platform equals platform is actually going to be null in this case. Filter type is going to be boxes model dot filter type, and name is going to be boxes model dot name. Okay, and we'll repeat this code, get rid of this return statement. This is actually going to be fairly simple. We're just going to change boxes model to CoverFlow model and text model. So do a quick search and replace boxes model in the selection, except it's boxes model with CoverFlow model, and here the same thing, boxes model with text model. So how many of you guys are developers? Anybody a developer here of any kind? Just curious if I'm getting what I mean. If you guys are just watching because you think this is cool, or if anybody's following, you know, all that stuff. Let me know if you're a developer or not. Sure, man. Well, hey, this is a good way to learn. I'm here because you pay me. Yeah, thanks, Brad. I hope I'm not paying you for this right now, because if I am, you know, get off the call. Cool. Great. So you guys, so there are a couple of developers on board. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. All right, so now we have, sure, that's cool, Sid. C Sharp, man, I swear that's the way to go. I went through college and learned Java in college, um, and really enjoyed Java, except when it came to actually using the applications that Java created. Because actually, Java code is awesome. It really is. Java's wonderful, but unfortunately, the concept of running the same exact code on various platforms, I mean, on all different platforms without recompiling it, yeah, that doesn't work so hot. So the stuff you make in Java is just kind of crappy. Yeah, yeah. I don't know about breaks too easy, but one thing that always irritated me with Java development was it just never looks pretty. It doesn't feel native. .NET has felt native from the beginning. Basically, I mean, you build something in .NET and it feels like any other Windows application. So, anyways, and they're opening up .NET to other platforms. That's been going on for a long time. But I'm excited about where that's going because that will. At this point, I honestly I don't want to rewrite all of LaunchBox or Big Box um, in a different language. So no application programming in this sense. Microcontroller programming in C and BASCOM. Interesting. Basecom, something like that. Cool. For fast prototyping. Awesome. Yeah, you're on the complete other end of the spectrum, Viewbot. See that impresses me because I mean I've done very basic C and C++ programming, but I never had to learn C and C++ in college because I stuck with the object oriented side, or not just the object oriented side. Of course, C++ is object oriented, but the higher level languages side. And to a certain extent, I'm glad I did because um, to be honest, it was always been really easy for me to find a job in .NET programming. But at the same time, I don't have the low level cred. I'm not as cool. I can't do all the low level programming that you can. I'm sure. I'd get bored too quick with that stuff, though. I think for some reason, I mean, what drives me? I love coding, but what drives me is the result. I like being able to code something and see something cool on screen relatively quickly. I'm not sure I'd have the patience for doing the lower level stuff. Anyways, just rambling. So now we have our variables. We have platform, filter type, and name. No matter what the view is, it does matter. So we need to, well, what's the new view going to be? Well, so basically we also need to set what the new view is going to be. So basically I'm going to set a setting, change the setting in the data manager to what the new view it should be. That's another thing we're missing, isn't it? We need a setting. No, we already have the settings for what the view should be. Duh. So I'm gonna in each of these we're gonna go to Program, Data Manager, Big Box Settings, .games list view equals, and I think this is just a string. Yeah. Games list, big box games list views. I just have these constants here. So if we are showing the boxes, I think we're going to go to text list. And if we are showing the CoverFlow, we're going to go to boxes. And if we're showing the text, we're going to go to CoverFlow. There. And then all that's left is the call the right method to show it. So we're going to say this dot show. Well, first off, if filter type equals platform. Then we're going to call this .showGames filter type. No, I need the platform. There. Yeah, it might not be initialized, of course, because it doesn't realize that. That's fine. So we'll initialize these all to null. I'm not sure if it's going to complain about that. Yeah, of course it is. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Just initialize it to something. Change that to a var. Show games platform. Otherwise, this show games filter type and name. Now, in theory, this is going to just work. So I'll go ahead and build it. Looks like we have some stuff we can clear out here now. Actually, clean this code up a little bit. Shadow Ranger says, what made you get into retro and beyond all in one program? So LaunchBox, man, I'll tell you what. Thanks, Brad. Basically, this started years and years ago. I discovered DOSBox, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago. It all started with DOSBox. Because the most nostalgic platform for me for my childhood is MS-DOS. That's what I played the most games on as a kid. So DOSBox for me was huge. And the first time I discovered DOSBox, I think it might have been all the way back into college. I think it was shortly after I got out of college. I discovered DOSBox and decided I would make a front end for DOSBox, and it was crappy, but it was the best that I could do at the time. I mean, I was working, for a year, maybe 2 years at that point, and I built a very simple front end in DOSBox, and it was the kind of thing where I have a history, man, of starting a project and never ever finishing it. Oh my goodness, I've done that so many times, it's ridiculous. You wouldn't believe how many stupid little video games I've built halfway, and applications I built halfway. I mean, I've been doing that since I was in high school. Just starting projects, spending tons of time on them, and then getting completely bored with them and abandoning them. So it's a miracle, man, that I've got it this far. And I thank the Lord for that, because I swear I couldn't have done it on my own. But anyways, so I built this little tiny crappy application and called it LaunchBox way back in the day, and then it completely abandoned the project for years. And then for some reason I was doing it all again, getting back into DOSBox and playing some games. And I had a lot more development under my belt. I knew what I was doing across the board pretty much. And I just went crazy one weekend and put out a version of LaunchBox literally in a weekend. Call it LaunchBox 1.0, and you can, if you follow the news articles back to the very beginning, you can see what LaunchBox 1.0 looked like. It actually looked very similar, but it didn't have any backgrounds or anything like that. It was very, very simple. But man, I put that thing out in a weekend. 2 days I had that thing ready, and to me that was incredible, because did you even see LaunchBox 1.0, Brad? Anyways, so it was only a front end for DOSBox, and I tell you what, supporting everything, all those ideas, as far as taking it from there and starting to support emulators, that was an idea from you guys. That was an idea from the community. So yeah, that was, one thing I learned early on was I'm an idiot if I don't listen to the community and take in suggestions and um, and take serious what the community is telling me, because frankly, I mean, I've enjoyed retro video games my whole life, but I am some of you guys are so into retro games, it's amazing. And you guys are bigger experts than I am on retro gaming and how everything works, the various other front ends and all that stuff. Um, because I enjoy coding so much that I spend so much time in the code, I don't get to see all the other stuff as much as some of you guys do. So yeah, listening to you guys is a huge thing I learned early on. Um, so all the big ideas, how I turned a DOSBox front end into an everything front end, yeah, that was all the community suggestions. So, anyways, that's it. It's our childhood. Hate to see them go. Hate to see what go, Shadow Ranger. Viewbot, I do. Believe it or not, I do still have a compiled version of LaunchBox 1.0. But I hide it under lock and key. Old video games, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Me too. Me too. Um, yeah, I have a history of nice. I have a history. I mean, I in college before I got into emulation and everything, I had an old 486 DOS machine that I lugged around everywhere in addition to my um, my modern machine because I wanted to be able to still play my old favorites. So yeah, I hear you. Anyways, the old compiled version of LaunchBox 1.0, yes, I still have it. I don't freely give it out because I don't really want people using the old buggy stuff, frankly. We have enough issues with people not updating and then having a bad experience because they're using a cracked version of LaunchBox 5.7. Cough, cough. So, anyways, I like to get rid of all the old versions as much as possible. Well, I've got this compiled, so let's actually get back to this. Start at Big Box here.
Initializing Big Box.
And let's see how this works. My options, I think I set it to P for keyboard mappings to switch the view. Yeah. So let's see what happens here. Let's go NES. P. Hey! Look at that. P. Bingo! That works better than I expected. That's awesome. P. Very cool. Of course, it's not going to remember your selection. Now the question I have though is the back button. I'm afraid that's going to be all messed up. Yeah, see, it's going to go back to the previous view. So we're going to have to fix that because the back button we don't want to go back to the previous view. Well, that time it didn't. I think I have an idea how to fix that. We'll see. If we go to on, no, it's back. Here we are. Oh, it's the previous view model handling. Let's go to that definition. No, come on. Oops. Here we are, the active view model. When we set that, we set the previous view model. If value is CoverFlow games view model or boxes games view model. I think if I add value is text, instead of this, I'm going to say games view model base because they're all. Then we set it to filters. Hopefully that'll fix the back functionality. Hi, Universal Touring Machine. Thank you. Welcome and glad you're here, man. That's awesome. All right. Brad says, even from when I first found LaunchBox around version 2.0, it's come seriously a long way. I remember being mad at LaunchBox for a while, gave up and went back to no front end and defend. A few weeks, months later, there'd been so much progress that it had won me over. Yeah, Brad is good at making very clear to me what the issues are. he's wonderful because he's on my butt all the time to get things fixed. VJSB, welcome, VJ. I'm not sure I've seen you on here yet. Oh man, I just saw Tabletop Tron down in Orlando the other day. That game was so hard back when I was like 4 years old. I didn't try it, but I can imagine it'd still be a challenge. Yeah, that's a game I've never played, man. Ugh. I keep hearing about Tron lately, but I haven't played that one. I've probably got it on my arcade cabinet. I just haven't played it. What tickets, Fred? What are you even talking about? Oh. Light Cycle? Is that Tron or is that a different arcade game? So that we built this, get into Big Box and test this out.
Standardizing Big Box.
Ah. Let's go into Nintendo Wii. And we press P. Back. P. Back. Seems to be working. Awesome. So that's done. Let's check the controller and make sure the controller button's working too. Yep. Woohoo! There it is. There's our first feature implemented over live development. This is fun, guys. I like this. I should do this more often. We'll definitely be doing this at least once a week. I'm enjoying this. I think it's cool to have you guys around while I'm developing. I'm enjoying it. Cool. Bingo. Awesome, VJ. Very cool. I'm amazed that you guys are all here. That's awesome. Brad was all like, oh, you won't have anybody joining. Oh, all this stuff. So Brad had me worried that nobody would be connected. But man, we got all kinds of great people up in here. Okay. Let's see. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You gave me that impression. All right. That makes sense. Yeah, and I might do that. I don't know. Sometimes it's harder for me because I've got a family with young kids. I got 3 little kids, and I don't really want to be interrupted in the middle of a session by little kids or any of that stuff. So I probably won't do it every day, but I might do it twice a week. It is fun. That's cool. That's cool. All right, so the next thing was fan art backgrounds for CoverFlow, and I don't know if I didn't implement that initially because it seemed like that wasn't going to work very well because of the reflections on the bottom of the CoverFlow. Let's load that up here, but we'll give it a shot. This actually should be pretty quick to implement.
Standardizing big box.
Shouldn't be very difficult. So if we go into, let's do GameCube. I haven't populated the cache for these. See, the thing is, the reflection on the bottom, I'm afraid, is going to interfere with the background and look dumb. So that's the reason why I didn't add it. But I'm wondering if maybe we could do something special where we fade out the fan art so that on the bottom it's dark or something like that. So I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Okay, Brad. I'm giving Brad a hard time this whole video. I'm sorry, Brad. I love you, Brad. Brad keeps the wheels turning. That's for sure. If you stream it, they will come. All right. Well, that's another question because the other thing I want to do is put these videos up on YouTube afterwards. So if I do a 3-hour stream session, I'm not sure, is YouTube going to let me upload the 3-hour video, Brad? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Not that that should affect whether or not I stream, but you know. You know, you're giving me attitude too, Brad. I don't feel so bad anymore. Cool. Wow. Crazy. All right. Fan art backgrounds. Here we go. What am I doing? I don't really even know. Games view model. So for CoverFlow, so we have the CoverFlow Games view model, which is basically the code behind all the that CoverFlow view. And then we have the actual view, this CoverFlow Games view, which is, the markup for the actual view. If I look at the text games view, for the background, how am I doing this? I have this background transition selector, background view. I'm going to copy this guy. And actually, it looks like I actually already have this here for the CoverFlow Games view. I'm just not using it. So we need to get background transition selector going, background view. Okay, so it's just these two properties, background transition selector and background view. So we can steal those from, we might actually have those already in base. Background transition selector. Yeah, that's already there. And background view. That's already there as well. Well, cool. So we need to set background path, which is just a path to an image. And we're good, in theory. We'll see. So basically, when we switch games, how are we handling that? Okay, go to previous. Selected, we set the selected game. All right. Now, one question I have, we might need to thread this process for performance reasons. But for right now, I'm just going to plug it in directly and we'll see what happens. So we have the selected game here. And I'm going to set this background. Wait a minute. Where is that? We might have to override something. Go to Games View Model Base, the background view. Oh, this background path. Duh. Okay, so this background path equals, actually, let's find background path. It might be read only. Ah, there it is. Okay. Oh no. Oh, it's private, that's why. We'll make this protected so that we can access it. So that background path equals. How are we setting it? I know I've got special code to pull that from the game. That's in base. There it is. Game.get big box random background image path. Nice and simple. You see how I'm doing this in a thread to help performance? We might have to do that as well here, but we're going to start with just doing this. Item.game. Bingo. And then on right, we're going to do the same thing. And build. And we'll see what happens. What the heck? We can monetize so we don't have a 15-minute time limit. We have to monetize, Brad, in order to do the 10 hours? I see what you're saying with the background, Brad. We don't monetize any of the YouTube videos right now. In other words, we don't put ads on them. And so we're not making any money off the YouTube videos. We're only making money off the sales. LaunchBox sales is basically the only way we make any money right now. But we're doing fine. That's working really well for us. Praise the Lord for that. Channels that are approved for monetization get lots of other fields like 15 minutes. Oh, okay. So we're good to go there. But the reason why we're not monetizing our YouTube videos is because we got some kind of stupid, I don't know what happened, Brad. We got in trouble on YouTube for doing something, probably emulation related, using some stupid image or something like that. We got in trouble on YouTube for monetizing a video like that, and I don't know what we did wrong. At this point, I don't care. But I'm looking at like how much money we'd be making on YouTube, and granted, we got like 300,000 views on YouTube now. Yeah, we were reported or Google flipped out. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Really stupid. But anyways, yeah, DJ, thanks. Good to know. And it was really dumb. They don't care what we do if we don't have monetization turned on. But the moment we turn on monetization, we get we get flagged. So screw that. I'm not going to risk that YouTube account because it's incredibly valuable now, and I don't want to lose it by turning on monetization and having another issue and having Google screw us over. So forget that. No more monetization. And we looked at like how much we'd be making. The most popular video that we have up there is the Retroarch easiest possible setup. It's really, by the way, it's Retroarch. I don't care what anybody says. It's not Retroarch. Sorry. Whatever. So we got That's our most popular video, and we've made like 100. We would have made $100 on that video if we monetized it. So it's not really. I mean, for the traffic we get, we wouldn't be making much money on YouTube anyways. Just stupid. Whatever. Yeah, seems like it. You know, I used to love Google. I used to be the biggest Google fanboy. Seriously, across the board, Google, Google, Google. And I still use a ton of their services. But man, they're slowly just angering me. I don't. So I'm trying to back out a little bit more from using their stuff for everything. Yeah, it probably was, DJ. But yeah, you know, I don't blame Google for everything. Some things, um, I started getting angry when they started closing services just because they weren't making any money. Like the one thing that really made me mad was there's a couple things that Google has shut down. One was the Google Reader stuff. I used that constantly. It's basically an online RSS reader. They shut that down for no good reason, just because, oh, we're not making any money, so we're just going to get rid of it. Same thing with like the Google homepage stuff, the customizable homepage where you could have all the widgets. That made me angry when they got rid of that too. Anyways, rant. We're built, I think, right? We built it. I'll build it again just in case. Talking too much. And start a big box, and we'll see if we got fan art.
Initializing big box.
All right. So, not for the first time, but yeah, we have it. It's just slow. One thing is, it's probably not this slow when I'm not streaming and recording and when I've got a better video card. I got a crappy video card in this system. But yeah, see, that's just ugly. That's horribly ugly. So, I don't know. Um, Obviously, that won't work as is. So either we blur it. I'm not sure blurring it is really going to work that well, Brad, because it's still going to be conflicting. It's still going to be ugly. The only thing I can think to do would be to fade it off to black at the bottom, so that you see it, the top version of it, but we do a gradient fade to black towards the bottom. And honestly, I don't know how to do that right off the top of my head. I'll have to look that up. I don't know why the performance is so bad with it too. I'm surprised. I have to look into that. Hmm. So, do I tackle that now or do I shelve that for now and come back to it later? I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Should I keep working on that or should we move on to the next thing on the list? Next thing on the list is alpha navigation, which is really important. I really need to get that done. Yeah, you know I think part of what it is, I've got a crappy NVIDIA video card in here. I don't even know what it is. It's not on board or anything, but it's kind of crappy, and it came with my Dell XPS. And I think what's going on is it's not usually that slow, but I'm using the video card to do all the encoding for the video and the recording for the video. I'm using the NVIDIA stuff, so I think my video card is getting pegged with that, and then it can't handle the processing for the for big box. And it's like I said, it's a really crappy video card. I think I'm going to throw a better video card in here eventually, but I just haven't spent the money on that yet. All right, Brad says remove the reflection from the background. It's making the stream freak out. Really? Interesting. Ah, Yeah. I want to avoid all that crap if I can, man. I don't want to deal with that. It's never fun. Brad says, remove the reflection from the background. Nah, I don't want to remove the reflection, Brad. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad, but it's not a good one. I'll tell you that. All right, so tell you what, guys. I think for now I'm going to comment that out, and we can come back to that because I don't want to spend a bunch of time on that. We need to get into the alpha navigation. That's the big thing right now. So for now, I'm just going to comment out this line and this line, and we should be back to what we had before.
Initializing big box.
All right. Man, we're still being slow. But yeah, there it is. Exit. All right. So here's, I should have kept it open. Here's the thing. You guys know what I mean by alpha navigation, I hope. In the text list view, now that we can easily switch views, in the text list view, which is the view that's been around since the beginning, if you go left, you can pull up this list and easily jump to any letter in the alphabet. So we need to add that functionality to the other views. But I think that's going to be tricky visually because I'm not sure how it should look. But obviously, the #1 issue right now with these other views is that if you've got a really big list like, you know, like NES here that has hundreds and hundreds of games, catch up, buddy, catch up. There you go. Being able to quickly navigate to the game you want is a challenge. So somehow or other, we've got to figure out how we're gonna, you know, how the heck I'm gonna pull up that list. I guess I could just put it at the bottom of the screen. I'm just afraid it's gonna be ugly is all. But I guess we'll start with that. But if you guys have any ideas visually as far as how to do that text-based list, better than just putting it at the bottom of the screen, I guess we'll probably just run with that for now. But let me know your thoughts on that if anybody's got any good ideas. In the meantime, I'm gonna just start tackling that. All right. Close out of all this stuff. On the flow view, you can use button up on the controller and place it on the top. Button up, sure. That's basically the same thing as I was thinking, to use button down to put it on the bottom, but we could put it on the top instead. Is there a reason why you think the top would be better than the bottom? I figured on the bottom it wouldn't interfere with the text. But sure, Shadow says the top as well. The only thing with putting it at the top is we'd have to move the title and the logo down when it shows up. We could do that. Just figured it'd be less in the way at the bottom, but I don't know. Do you guys think the top would be better?
while you scroll, the letter you are in pops up and changes as you scroll, or you use a button combination. You bring up a letter wheel for selection. A letter wheel would be cool. Yeah, but I want to keep it simple. So as far as navigation, I want it really simple so that you do the same thing you do currently with a text view where you just go left. We need to do something like that, something similar like that. As far as the navigation, although I like the concept of a letter wheel, the question is, how would I build it or graphically make it? That's the thing. I'm sure it can be done in XAML. I'm just not quite sure how. Sure, okay. I would think the bottom would be better visually. All right, yeah, I think we'll run with the bottom for now. I mean, it'll be easy to move it around once we actually implement it. Looks like there's more room if the box moves down. Sure, yeah. That's another thing is I need to play with tweaking the cover flow view. Because another thing I want to do eventually is put some extra details on that screen with the cover flow and see if we can shrink those boxes down, at least for another view. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and put the text on the bottom. Controllers on a keyboard is press a button. Sure. Well, that's Brad. That's why you just go down, and it comes up with the list of letters. Have you seen the latest versions, Brad? You know what I'm talking about? Because that's basically what we do in the text view. If we go into the list view here, all we do is go left, and all this stuff shows up. See that? So that's basically a letter wheel. It just shows up on the left. Anyways, sorry. Let's just go ahead. Let's just get started on this. So if I pull up my apparently not. What? What are you talking about? I don't want the text games view model. I need to go into the text games view. Yeah, I forgot. You do that to me sometimes, Brad. So I think this is actually happening in text list view. We got the title, and we have list box index on the left, and then the items on the right. And we're not actually even using this list view for delay. I'm lost. Sorry, Brad. So I need to copy this list box basically and put it in my parent, or put it in my we'll start with the CoverFlow games view model. Not the model, CoverFlow games view. All right. And we're going to put it at the bottom. Okay. All right. We're putting in a dock panel. We have to change the list box style. We got a lot of work to do here. We have to dock it to the bottom, put stuff in a dock panel, I guess. I'm using a canvas right now. Do I want to do that or just, I'm not sure. I'm going to try keeping it in the canvas. Yeah, that's fine. Import that. I'm going to set the height equals 60. Excuse me. I'm going to have to import something for Caliburn. Well, the reason we're using a dock panel is so it'll fill the width or fill the height. But maybe we can just do this. Hopefully that'll work. I don't know. Let's see if we can get that going. Text games view, text, we need the text list. Excuse me. Dang it, Brad, I'm allergic to you. All right, so Cal. There. Nah, I'm putting in the wrong file. Get out of here. There it is. And then we need to implement index on selection changed. I don't need that. I need text list view, the code behind it. Index on selection changed. We're going to need some of this measure stuff too. We have some of it. Yeah, import it then. Text list view. I need the code behind. Let's see if we're missing anything here. I'm not doing anything on index. That's odd. Not doing anything on items either. Oh, because that's handled in a sub object, the font size and stuff. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all we need. Now, this should compile. Sorry, Brad. I'm sorry I made you cry. I really feel bad about it. It's really, okay, VJSB, it's really clean like that the way it is. Is there a way to have the simple text list appear on the side in CoverFlow? The same it appears in the list view, but on the bottom across. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to go for, VJSB. So it only shows up if you press down or up, depending on if you keep it on the bottom or put it on the top. So yeah, basically, I want it to only show up if you press down and put it on the bottom and jump that way, exactly. Mom, Dad, here's some code. Random thought when you said parent. I know what you meant, but that made me laugh. Okay. All right. So we set the height and the width. One thing though that we're gonna need to change is the style of the list box is vertical right now with this list box style. So somehow or other, I'm gonna make it horizontal. So this is one thing I don't like about XAML. I don't like how they do all this style stuff. It's really weird. I guess, I mean, it's better than a lot of things they could have done. It's just so confusing. So we're using this list box style and list box item style. And then box list box style and box list box item style. That's what we're using that one for the horizontal game boxes view. But I'm going to need to copy list box style and list box item style. To make a horizontal version of this. So we'll see what happens here. We haven't really even gotten into the code for this yet. This is all just the markup. I guess I'll copy these and we'll create a new one. This is horizontal list box style. Okay, we're going to make the key horizontal list box style. And this doesn't exist yet, but we're going to create horizontal list box item style. Anything else I need to do here? Come on, catch up. Here we go. Item container style. Border brush, background, foreground, font family, scroll bar visibilities, padding, margin. I don't think there's anything I need to change there. Weird. Am I using the right stuff? I must be. Yeah. I don't really know what I'm doing, guys. I'm just, doing random crap and hoping it works. All right, so list box item style. We'll do that next. Horizontal list box item style dot XAML. Okay. I'm going to change the key. Target type list box item. Padding. This might need changed. Horizontal content alignment. Weird. I must have copied that from somewhere because I have no clue what the heck that does. Background, border brush, border thickness, template. All right, this is where it's going to need to change. Control template, target type, list box item. We have a border. Triggers. Content presenter. Horizontal alignment equals stretch. Vertical content. Interesting. So this is somehow Hey Jack, welcome, man. You get to come in as we're trying to implement the alphanumeric navigation for CoverFlow, and you get to see this as it seems I don't really even know what I'm doing. So I'm experimenting with the list box styles here. Let's see. Snaps to, yeah, that's how development is, isn't it? Especially with this XAML stuff, sometimes it's like, okay, try it, see what happens. All right, so I'm thinking we need to change this to vertical alignment equals stretch, maybe, and then set horizontal alignment equals template binding. Weird. But what did I change for the boxes to make them horizontal, for heaven's sake? What did I do? Ah, this is what I did. We don't have this in there right now. This is what I did to change it. For the boxes, they're horizontal. So I added this property right here. So I'm not even sure if the crap I changed in here is smart to change. If I go into box, list box item style, okay, I see. Got it. So we'll come back to that. Horizontal list box item style, basic. No, I need actually horizontal list box style. Here we go. The items panel, we need to override that to make it horizontal. So virtualizing stack panel orientation equals horizontal is items host equals true. That's what's going to do it right there, right? I think, I hope. So there's that. We need to fix this crap I messed up over here. From boxes, we're going to use this horizontal alignment and vertical alignment. Copy. Close out of this. Use that instead. Bingo. It's going to work. I promise. All right. So in theory, we have our list box. Looks like it's at the top right now, though. That's right. So let's set bottom. No, what is it? Canvas.bottom equals 0. Great. Now it's filling the width of the thing and showing up on the bottom, and it should be invisible unless we set the visibility to visible here for index visibility. So the properties we need now are index visibility, and then index is going to be the selected one. So now I think we can get into the actual code. I hope. And I hope it'll just work. We'll see. Close out of the styles. Let's go into CoverFlow Games View Model. And I'm also going to open up Games View Model Base, which has examples of, get rid of that. Has examples of all the index stuff. Let's look for index. Index is what I'm calling the Alpha-Numeric navigation. We got stuff for escape and enter. You know what though? This stuff is all happening in the list view model, which complicates this stuff because I had wrapped it inside of a list view model for the other view, but this one I don't have that for the CoverFlow stuff, so that complicates things a little bit. I'm adding. I can show you, Jack. I'll show you what I mean.
Initializing big box.
So basically, let's go into Nintendo Wii. So if we go into the text view that we originally had here, go to the left, you have this alphanumeric navigation stuff. And for long lists, for example, we go into NES. Of course, it sucks to scroll down the list, so you have this so you can jump to the list quickly. All right. So we need that same kind of thing for the other views. So for CoverFlow, we don't have that right now. We don't have a way to quickly jump. So what I need to do is when you press down on the keyboard, I need the CoverFlow to show up on, or the Alpha-Numeric navigation to show up on the bottom so you can quickly jump between stuff. So that's what I'm working on adding. And struggling through right now. So games view model base, I need the, is it text list view model? Here we are. See this basically, I don't know, maybe I should just add a text list view model to the, I don't know, maybe not. I don't think so. I think we're going to re-implement it. Cool. Although this code I should probably abstract out so I don't just copy it verbatim so I can change it later easily. Because we're going to use the same menu item view models. Maybe. We might have to change that up actually. We might have to create a horizontal menu item view model. All right. I think what's happening, I need a better video card. CoverFlow is messing up the stream because the stream can't keep up with the video, I'm guessing. Thanks, Brad. Anyways, I hope the stream is back, right, Brad? We're going to need this index visibility property in our CoverFlow games view model. Looks like we need a private visibility index visibility. I see I've got a modern, I think it's a Haswell i7 in here, so hopefully it's not the CPU. Pretty sure it's the crappy video card, especially since I'm using the video card to encode the video and all that stuff. I just need to upgrade that video card. So we added index visibility. I need the index property as well, which is in the base. We have a bool index active, which I'm probably going to need. Yeah, I'm going to need that, and then index, copy all this and just delete that middle property items that I don't need. CoverFlow games view model. All right. We have index visibility, index active. I don't need items, but I do need index. Let's import those missing using statements. We need a Boolean private index active. Hey, K-Money, welcome, man. I'm about as Jedi Master as Brad is, which isn't very Jedi Master. Now we're getting this done. I'm adding the Alpha-Numeric navigation to the, what is it, the CoverFlow view right now. So we're going to need this stuff now. This is in the constructor. Index, create it, and add the favorite, add all the items, and set the visibility. All right. I'm gonna just to test this out and see what it looks like. I mean, I am gonna have to get into the CoverFlow again, guys. So hopefully it doesn't screw things up too bad. But I'm gonna set this to visible off the bat and see if we've actually got it presented halfway decent right now. I'm making Brad angry, guys. I keep ratting on him. Sorry, Brad. You know I love you. I only insult the people I love. You're not having any problems, what? Oh, Jack. I know the problem with new systems. Yeek. Yeah. I feel your pain, Shadow Ranger. I was really, really nice to Brad recently. So he can't complain too much. Because I just surprised him with a brand new machine. I was all like, here, Brad, here's $1,000. Build a machine. Oh, if I was mad, you'd know. Oh, I'm aware, Brad. I'm aware. Uh-oh, I'm out of coffee. We're in trouble now. All right, let's see what happens. It's probably going to break everything, but we'll give it a shot. Nice, Jack.
Initializing big box.
How much is it delayed, guys? Brad, how long is the delay? I set the Twitch settings to reduce the delay, but I don't have any idea how long it is. Let's see. NES. We got a star! Unfortunately, though, the other one isn't showing up next to it. I think it might be because I need to use a different menu item view model, a horizontal one that I haven't created yet. So let's look into that. Okay. Thanks, guys. So the menu item stuff, menu item view model, menu item view. We're basically using, here's our problem. We're binding or setting the thing to the parent. Yeah, we're filling the width of the parent. So I need to change this. I need to create a new one for horizontal menu item view. Why are you using an old style iTunes model? What do you mean by that, Jack? You talking about CoverFlow? I'm going to copy this and make this horizontal menu item view.xaml. Okay. Change the class, horizontal menu item view, and the class back here as well, horizontal menu item view. All right, and if we take a look at this, the max width, instead of doing max width, we need to say max height. Finding actual height. Okay, and then border name equals border height equals binding actual height. And text box name is text, text trimming, text wrapping, horizontal alignment. Instead of horizontal alignment, we're going to say vertical alignment. In theory, that'll do it. Let's take a look at the code behind. Anything we need to do here, set the font size and the padding. So I think we should be good there. Now we need a new view model for that horizontal menu item view. Where is that? We have menu item view model right here. So I'm going to copy this and call it horizontal menu item view model.cs. And make this horizontal menu item view model. Horizontal menu item view model. Horizontal menu item view model. Cool. All right, let's check on comments here. All right, so CoverFlow was specifically requested, Jack. That's why we set up CoverFlow. I mean, we're definitely going to open up some other types of views. We're looking into allowing the community to build their own themes and all that stuff. We already discussed that a little while earlier, and I showed off the markup engine that we're going to use to do it. But CoverFlow was requested, and I wanted to. I added a bunch of code recently. To support some new views and all this stuff. But of course, adding new views is the bigger job than pretty much anything else. So I wanted to start more simple and do the CoverFlow type stuff first, and we'll get into some more complicated stuff in the future. And allowing the user to add all this stuff as well. But I figured CoverFlow wouldn't be too bad to get going, and it was requested, so that was the reason why we added CoverFlow. Lots of people like it, believe it or not. I like it too, actually, although it is overly simple. But anyways, yeah, we're going towards more hyperspin style stuff. Eventually, we'll get there. But at the same time, I don't know if we're ever going to be as over the top, in your face as hyperspin. Hopefully, we can allow users to create themes that do stuff like that. But I don't know if that's going to be a goal. I know some people like that stuff, but frankly, for me personally, I like it a little bit more professional and a little bit more simple. I don't like it that much in your face. So that's my preference. So we may rely on the community to build the more advanced, more complicated type stuff. But that's where we're immediately headed. Some more simple, some more different types of view options. But we're also going to keep it a little more simple here for starters. All right, let's catch up a little bit here. Cool, yeah. Cool. All right. Man, I'd love to have a great hyperspin setup working. I think that'd be fun to play with. But I've never put the time in to get it all working well. It's just such a job to get everything up and running so well. I'd love to have it just to play around with it. I mean, I've played around with hyperspin quite a bit, but I've never had a good working setup across the board, just because it's so difficult to get running. Although I know how hyperspin works. I've seen millions of videos on it and all that kind of stuff. But anyways. Yeah, I mean, as much as I'd like to be the replacement for Hyperspin, I really do want LaunchBox to be the replacement for Hyperspin, since development is dying for Hyperspin. Um, I want to go that direction, but yeah, I don't know that we'll ever be Hyperspin exactly as it is right now. I'm not sure if that's something that we're gonna go for or not. I definitely want to move in that direction. We've been focusing pretty heavily on adding Hyperspin features so that people that are coming over from Hyperspin can make the switch really easy. Um, like, for example, we just added 7-zip support so that people with 7-zip compressed ROMs uh, can, it's just a drop-in solution into LaunchBox. And that was pretty important, but we'll get there. It's not an immediate goal, though, to implement all the complicated hyperspin visuals. I think it'd be cool to get there. So that's an eventually thing, but it's not on the immediate agenda. All right, enough talking. Let's get back to work here. We added this horizontal menu item view model and the associated view. So now, let's clean this up. We're going to go ahead and use, instead of menu item view model here, we're going to use horizontal menu item view. Do a quick replace. Menu item. Come on. Do the selection for me. Okay. Menu item view model with horizontal. Come on, man, catch up. Horizontal menu item view model. Replace. I just crashed Visual Studio. Thank you, Visual Studio, for crashing on me. Appreciate that, buddy. All right, do your stupid thing. Oh yeah, I'm out of coffee. There we go. Come on, Visual Studio. All right. Go back into where we were. We were working on games view models, CoverFlow games view model. Trying to replace these out. I'm going to do a replace in the selection. We're going to replace menu item view model with horizontal menu item view model. Wow, why is that crashing Visual Studio? Come on, Microsoft, what the crap? Fine. I won't do a search and replace, you fools. Interesting.
That's weird, man. That's not what I want. CoverFlow games view model. Okay. I guess I won't be searching and replacing. It's really stupid. Why does that not found? Oh, I bet it didn't save the project. All right. Yeah, horizontal isn't in here. Great. Show all files. There it is. Include in project. Now we should be able, there it is. How nice of you. Okay, now I gotta manually copy and paste here because my search and replace did not work. All right, and then we'll build, and I'm hoping we will see the letters next to each other like they're supposed to. Just trying to get the presentation right at this point. Yeah, actually, well, I don't know. Oops. Menu item view does not contain a definition for initialized component. This must be, I must have screwed up my classes somehow, my views. Menu item view, view code. I updated the wrong one. So this is menu item view. And then horizontal. Oh, we're missing that too. Include. Should be nice if Visual Studio wouldn't crash. There we are. This is horizontal menu item view. And then the code behind is horizontal menu item view. That's correct. And then make sure we didn't mess anything else up with menu item view. View code. All right. So we're good there. We're good there. Let's try this again. Rebuild. Bingo. All right, let's catch up a little bit on the comments. I don't know what is wrong with the dumb replace all. It's really stupid. I've used that feature a million times with huge, tons of replacements, and I've never seen that before. But yeah, Windows just updated. It could be Visual Studio just updated. I don't know. They probably broke something for all I know. The archive decompression is an amazing feature. I pull all my ROMs from an external, and pretty much everything is zipped. It's amazing to have that option instead of unzipping my whole collection. Works great over USB 3.0. Awesome. Good to hear, BJ. Thanks. Yes, does not compute. I don't know what the crap it's thinking. We actually don't understand the compression fully other than a user needing to save space. On the cart single file systems, you don't save that much space and the disk can take up too much time to decompress. We see, though, that a lot of people use it. Yeah, I know it doesn't work that great for, the decompression stuff isn't working that great for large disk images. Because I haven't added any kind of progress dialog or any of that stuff. So we don't, I think what Brad's getting at is we don't really recommend it for large disk images, but if it's working, great. Eventually I'll probably get back to that and add a prettier interface in there while things are decompressing so that it works better with large images. Anyways, but yeah, Brad's right. The disks don't usually, I mean, sometimes they do. Usually you don't save much space compressing, CD or DVD images. Oh, Wii U games. Okay.
Sure, that makes sense, BJ. RAR 5 is faster unzipping than 7-zip. That makes sense. RAR is an open source, which is the reason why we're using 7-zip. 7-zip is all open source, and I can there's libraries out there that I can put inside LaunchBox for free. I can't do that with RAR. I use RAR. I've used RAR for a long time, but unfortunately, 7-zip has to be our choice simply because I don't want to pay for the ability to include RAR into LaunchBox. I'm not sure what that fee would be. Shadow Ranger, it sets my sound to 0 when playing any MAME game. I don't know how to solve that off the top of my head, to be honest. So hit us up on the forums if you haven't already, and we can, Brad, or someone else on the forums can help you out. I'm not sure why MAME, your sound is 0 in MAME. All right, back to development here. Did I build? I don't think so. All right, so we're built. And if the stars are aligned, we will have letters along the bottom. We'll see. No. Why? Why not? All right. Well, I might have to implement the. We'll have to figure that out, but I might have to put focus on it to see what exactly is happening here. So let's start implementing some of the input features for this. If I look at my, I think it's text list view model. Okay. We're going to need this items visible stuff. So there's quite a bit of stuff we're going to need here. Let's start grabbing this stuff and copy it over. Well, the items visible, no, we don't need items visible for the index. That's for the other stuff. Good. Okay. View, attach view, get view. We don't need that. Remeasure. I don't think we're going to need that. So we'll leave that alone for now. There's nothing else in here. Maybe it's in base. Yeah, we have visibility, index visibility. This is all where it's all at, all the input stuff. We need selected index. We're going to need that. We don't need selected item. And index active we already have. Index visibility we already have. Okay. Selected item changed. Selected index changed. I'm not sure if we're going to need that or not. Set the title. Title visibility, logo visibility, items visible, index visibility. I think we already have that copied over, yes. Logo, index active, I think we already have, yeah. Items, we have index, selected item, selected index right here. We're going to need this. Let's copy that. And in theory, that's it, maybe. Where's my on, up, on, down? I think that's all handled by the parent. So, selected index. If this.index is null, return null. return selected index. Okay, we're gonna get rid of the event for now because I don't think we're gonna need it. Okay. There we are. And we're gonna need not from list view model base. I need to go to the games view model base at this point, which has a list view. And we're going to need to look at the navigation now. On left, because we're basically, oh, I'm in CoverFlow games view model. That's not what I want. I want games view model base. Current document on the left. Oh, we're not even overriding that? Interesting. Wow. Dang, man. Apparently we have some issues with Visual Studio while we're streaming or something. I'm not sure what's going on, why Visual Studio keeps locking up on me. What's going on here in the chat? Yeah, get out of here. Go away. Stupid Visual Studio. Archive. You guys are talking about archives. Archives are boring, guys. Boring. All right. But I guess talking about archives is better than watching Visual Studio crash. Stupid thing. It's funny. I haven't seen it crash in so long. Of course, the moment I start streaming, it starts crashing. Whatever. We'll make it work. Hopefully we didn't lose our items. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. We were in CoverFlow Games View Model. And I'm looking for basically text games view model on up. Let's go on left. I want to search the project. I want to search the document. Here we are. So this is what sets the index to active when you go left or right. So we'll grab this stuff. We're going to change this to on up and on down. I believe we already have on up, on down. We already have on left and on right. I'm going to change this stuff to on, setting the active is active to true here, so we're going to change this to on down and on up. Okay. Good, good. Then on left and on right, we need to change that code to check to see if the index is active. Menu items. If we're in games, here we go. This is what I need. This is the on down. So this should be for on right. Yeah, well, we'll copy this. If no, we don't want that. We want if this dot index active, this dot index of this dot selected index. Oops. All right. Okay, so that is on right, and then on left, do something similar. Now let's copy this, make this easier on myself so I don't have to think. I've already thought through this, so no reason to have to think again. Here we are. I just did on right, on left. This dot index active. We get the index. Okay. You guys bored out of your minds yet? All right. So in theory, we should be able to focus on the index on the bottom and go left and right. In theory, it's not going to update any. It's not going to move anywhere when we go through the stuff. But all right, what version of OBS? Latest studio, or should be? Might be missing the update from today. Yeah, I haven't updated it today. Big update. Okay, well, cool. Yeah, I do need some more coffee, man. All right. It builds. It builds. See what we got.
Initializing big box.
Lord know what. I don't need more coffee. Hey, yeah, see how it's stretched? Come on, wake up. All right, so we had an error here in on down. We got a null reference in on down for some reason, so let's figure that one out. Wow, dude, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate that, Shadow Ranger. Yeah, guys, let me know. I mean, a better time to be doing this. I don't know. Obviously, I work. I'm a regular. I mean, I work this like a regular job. So I typically work. No, not bored. Good to hear. I work. Stop bragging, Brad. I work. Usually, 9 to 5. That's those are my typical hours as far as actual development. Anyways, I'm always working. I'm always doing stuff. All day long, I'm responding to people and stuff. But as far as development, I usually do that 9 to 5. But I can change it up every once in a while if hours would be better. So you guys let me know what hours would work best for you guys because I want to keep doing this. And I know the hours suck for some people, so let me know. Let's see. We got an error on down. I got a no reference error. Oh, because I didn't change this stuff. That's an easy fix. Good, good. All right, build. Here we go.
Initializing big box.
Okay, it's active. Yeah, see how the letter is changing down there, but we still have the issue where the width of the list item is the full width of the list box. So that's what I got to fix. I'm not sure why that is, but it looks like everything's working great other than that. We just got to fix the formatting there. And then the visibility stuff, and then actually implementing the jumping. So we're getting there. Progress. Sure. That makes sense. Yeah, I figured that. The time zone stuff. All right, so we got to figure out what's wrong with my XAML and my styles so that it's making it full width. That's what we got to figure out next. Do a save all just in case this stupid thing crashes again. Views. You're in Germany. So what you said, I don't know what you mean by that, ViewBot. What time is it for you over there? You said 21 o'clock. So I guess that's what? I'm not used to the 24-hour time stuff because I'm a stupid American. Uh, so that's like 9 o'clock p.m. maybe? Well, that's cool. That's easy for you then. Let's see. So this is the horizontal menu item view. We've set the max height 9 p.m. Sure. Cool. Cool. So 3 o'clock for Shadow Ranger makes sense. He's on the East Coast. Oh, look, we have horizontal alignment equals stretch. Well, there's your problem. Vertical alignment equals stretch. I hope. I hope that'll solve it. Maybe not. We might be missing something else too. We'll see.
Initializing big box.
There you go. Yeah. No, yeah, we're still missing crap apparently. All right. Yep. Take a look again. Vertical alignment stretch. This is horizontal menu item view. Height, actual height. Max height, actual height. Name text, no wrap, vertical alignment stretch. Okay, well, that looks right. Anything in the code behind would be messing it up. We got padding. Font size, nope. So that looks all good to me, the horizontal menu item view. Then the parent of that is going to be the list box. Wait a minute, are we using the wrong one? Possibly. If we pull up the styles, the horizontal list box item style. Ha! That was me, ViewBot. I was screwing around with vocoder and put that together. I actually did it really cheap too. I was trying to do it quick, and I did it in. I used Audacity, which is crazy because I never use Audacity. I use Reaper for all my audio recording stuff.
I don't remember what plugin I used. Something free. Trying to make the pick smaller. You talking to me, Ranger? Right now, what I'm doing is I'm still working on getting the alphanumeric navigation to work properly on the bottom. All right, so I'm looking at horizontal list box item style here. And we're setting horizontal alignment to the parent binding, vertical alignment to the parent binding for the list box. Maybe we need to change that. This is the content presenter. Horizontal alignment equals left. Vertical alignment equals stretch. Let's try that. I don't think there's anything else in here to look at. Horizontal list box style, items panel, orientation horizontal is items host. Looks right. I don't know, give that a shot.
Initializing big box.
Still, man. What am I doing wrong? Stupid thing. Let's take a look at our, let's go up a step and take a look at our CoverFlow. Not styles, I need views. CoverFlow games view. Our list box. Oh wow, guys. I am a dumb idiot. Look at this. My style is set to list box style. So I created that horizontal list box style and I never even hooked it up to use it. That's the issue. I had set it to list box style. You notice how I got that squiggly line under there? That's because I never even added it to my list. So I forgot a number of steps here. Well, that's good. That makes it obvious what's going on. So that's, we'll get it solved here quick now. If we go to, it's under app.xaml, load up. We need to add resource dictionary source equals style slash horizontal list box style. And also horizontal list box item style. What's the issue here? It thinks it doesn't exist. Did I call it wrong? Let's take a look at styles. Horizontal list box item style. Looks right. And horizontal list box style. I don't know. Try building it, I guess. Hi, Wolfman. Cool. So you guys got it easy because my work schedule is when it's you guys' evenings. That's awesome. I didn't think about that. That there's lots of people that'll be. So really, no matter what we do, no matter what time I do it, there's going to be people who can join and people who can't because of the time differences. But that's cool because that makes it so you guys are able to join up while I'm during my regular work hours. That's awesome. It builds, I think. No problems building. Yeah, and the squigglies went away. It was just updating it. And that's working now. So in theory, that this problem should be fixed. We'll see what happens.
Initializing big box.
Let's go into NES. Hey, it's a miracle, everybody. Look at that. Yay. It works, it works. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, that's for sure. But now we can actually make it functional. And we can work on making it prettier after we get it functional. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Beautiful. It's the little things in life. All right, so next we're going to go into our view model and actually code this stuff to get it to switch between CoverFlow Games View Model. So when we switch here in the selected index, when this is set, we need to jump to that spot in the CoverFlow list. So let's pull up the code, what the code is that I'm using for the list view model, text list view model. Except I might be doing that. Where am I doing that? Maybe in base games view model, selected index changed. Here it is. Okay, I'm just going to create a method called private void on selected index changed. I'm not going to create an event because I don't need to. And what we'll do we'll just call this dot on selected index changed. And there as well. Okay. Now, if we take a look at this over here, initial selection. Oh yeah, we needed something special there, didn't we? All right. Maybe we should use this event. Come to think of it. So we can handle this initial selection crap. The reason why I used the event here is because it's in a subclass or a child, whatever, a class, different class. But I think I'm going to go ahead and implement the selected index change here. Try and do it the same way instead of doing this. So if e.initial selection return this dot selected index as horizontal menu item view model. Okay, if it's the star, it's dot selected. Okay, so this is what we need to change right here to actually select the CoverFlow item. And same here. That's what actually does the selection. Now let's fix this stuff Actually, I need to change this in here. For our game in this dot items. Ah, okay. Well, this whole thing is bogus for now. We're going to need to work through that whole block. But let's get this actually working here and actually calling that event. I need the event defined, which I think is in base, games view model base. Our event, where is it? Oh, it's in games list view model. The selected index changed event. So we're going to steal this guy. Go to our CoverFlow. We'll put that up top. Selected index changed. And then we're going to fire that off. This dot selected index changed dot invoke this. Should take a look at how I'm doing that as far as initial selection. I think this is new selected index change event args. I think this is the initial selection here, and then down here it's not. I think that's how that works. Hi, Bombarolo. Welcome. Okay. Bombarolo. I'm sure I butchered that somehow. That's okay. All right. Invoke. Invoke. This needs to be false. What do you mean by Nintendo lettering, Shadow? You mean the font? That would be cool. Yeah, that's a great idea. Theming that better. Absolutely. I agree. That would be a big improvement. Yeah, we should let the user specify a custom font. I'm not sure if I built that in there yet, font stuff or not. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. But basically, I want to get this actually working first, and then we can go back to the visuals and play around a little bit. Sounds like one of my kids just got home, so we might be interrupted. I got the door locked, but who knows? Or actually, I don't have the door locked. I'm gonna go lock the door. Sorry, family, I'm busy. All right, so add the option button to exit from the emulator. I don't know exactly what you're referring to, Bomarolo, but we already have a button combination to exit emulators with the LaunchBox premium version. I like that idea though, Shadow Ranger, using some kind of retro gaming font. That's a great idea. So let me know if you find one that's open that we can use. Feel free to search for one. I'd love to find it and use it. I'm not sure how we would necessarily install a font so that so it would just automatically work. That might be kind of a challenge since LaunchBox is portable, but I'm sure we can figure it out somehow or other. Hi, Canadian. LaunchBox. Go to www.launchbox-app.com and you'll see what LaunchBox is. Click the screenshots or something like that. Yeah, that makes sense, Sid. You can hear my daughter out there. Hi, Eva. Daddy's streaming. Yeah, I'm streaming. You need to leave me alone, okay? I love you. You do. You got an emergency. What's going on? I'll be right back, guys. What's the matter?
I need your phone because I left my phone. I left my purse at Eva's school.
Okay.
Look at my blue. Look
Yeah,
at
I
my
see.
blue.
Sorry.
No worries.
Curly.
I don't know what flavor it is.
All right, I'm back. Okay, so thanks, Jack. Take it easy. I do not speak English. Can you write a reply in reference to the exit button from the emulator? Thanks. Yeah, Bomarolo. Yes. We already have the button combination to exit emulators. That already exists. It's already there in the. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not even thinking. Sorry, man. Hi, Bomarolo. The button combination to exit the emulator already exists in LaunchBox Premium. There we go. No, Canadian, LaunchBox isn't an emulator. It just launches emulators. It works with emulators. You have to use your own emulators. I'm not sure about using PNG files instead of a font. I mean, that'd certainly be flexible, but it'd be a pain in the butt. Yeah, Canadian, you can use LaunchBox to fire off Dolphin. Dolphin is the emulator that you use to play Wii games. Well, it's questionable. The legality of it is questionable. I own the Wii games that I emulate. So basically, I own the physical copies. So it's not illegal for me to emulate Wii games. But if you don't own the physical copies and you're just downloading Wii games and playing them, yeah, that's definitely illegal. But there's nothing wrong with doing it if you own the actual physical copies of the games. Emulation itself isn't illegal. Stealing games is illegal. Anyways, back to the development here. Can somebody fill in Bomarolo and tell him how to get the button combination stuff set up? what am I doing? CoverFlow Games View Model. We were trying to get, yeah, that's right. So we got to the point where we just need to add the code to jump to the next selected item, or the item that so the code right here to actually select the right item in the list. So this is easy. Our list of items for the CoverFlow, we're actually doing something funky where we're adding it to the CoverFlow control for the CoverFlow stuff. It works differently than everything else. We have selected game. Okay. So we can set that. The trick is that that's not going to update CoverFlow. So I'm going to have to get into my CoverFlow control. Under controls, CoverFlow. Where we're setting our, I think it's actually a flow control. And first realized index, where are we setting our, running our add, replace. All right. So we need the ability to select a particular item and open up the items. We can set with this, it's this update index is what sends us to a particular index item. And we need to be able to track which item to go to. So we have a dictionary of images list with the index item as the int and the image info, which has our games in it. Hi, Canadian. I don't really want to read a big legal document on whether emulation is illegal for Nintendo. Of course, Nintendo is going to say emulation is illegal. Don't really care if Nintendo thinks emulation is illegal because, of course, Nintendo doesn't like emulation. But you know what's interesting about that? Nintendo uses emulation and has ripped off the open source emulation community and uses their code, and then it takes a two-faced stance where they legally object to emulation. So I don't really want to get into a big discussion on whether emulation is legal or not. That's not my interest. LaunchBox isn't an emulator, so LaunchBox is applicable whether or not you go into emulation. So I have no desire to discuss that here. So please, let's move on to a different topic. I don't really want to get into that discussion. That's not what this is about. Anyways, back to my flow control. So we have this image list. And I think if I open up the image list, we should be able to work with this stuff here. I hope. Let's see. We have our count. We have our index. Oh, we can set the index directly. Okay. Let's add a property. Let's try this. Public dictionary of int image info image list, capital I. Get return this dot image list. And we can clean that up a little bit. All right, so now that we have that, go back to our CoverFlow games view. Basically, wow, dude. Yeah, we are not profiting off of Nintendo IP, my friend. We develop an application. So, all right, guys, how do I ban somebody in Twitch? You can go away. I don't desire to talk to you any longer. Let's see. Y'all still there? Just navigated away from the page. I'm not sure that messed anything up. Whatever. We'll ban him if he keeps ranting. Most Canadians are happy people. Oh, great. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. You're really helping things. Really appreciate you reporting us to Nintendo. Whatever. What? I don't understand why you're so adamant about this and why you're so angry. You really, you're just a jerk for no good reason. I don't know what I just did. Ah, troll, lol, 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 lol. Yeah, I'm trying, Brad. I think I banned him. Don't really know what that is. Pound or bang permit. Sorry, DJ Quad, I can't mod you. / ban username. Well, that's easy. All right. Yeah, no kidding. What a jerk. This is the kind of crap we got to deal with all the time. Canadian 1010 is now banned from this room. Good riddance. Enjoy your life, Canadian 1010. Thank you for quote unquote reporting us to Nintendo. I feel so effed. You're a special, special person. All right. Now we can get back to the code now that the troll is gone. Let's see. This dot selected game equals
we need to set the index and then also set the selected game. So this, how are we doing that? We're using the view. On right, on left. Actually, you know, it does happen, but it's pretty rare that somebody would be offended at what we're doing, because we're not pirating anything. That's not what we're doing. And we just write an application that works with these emulators. That's all we really do. We're not out to do anything else other than that. So very, very rarely do people get angry at us. I don't know what was up his butt. I don't know what his problem was. He's just a jerk. It's pretty rare that we run into somebody like that that has an issue with us. Or at least it is for me. Maybe Brad sees them more often than I do these days. All right, on right, on left, on up, on down. What am I looking for? I'm so flustered, guys. I'm so flustered by Canadian 1010. He ruined my productivity. Okay. Setting the index, or basically on. I'm looking at on left and on right. This dot selected index. When we set that, no, it's selected game. That's not right. On left. Oh, we're not looking at index. We're looking at this. Here we go. On the left. Yeah. Okay. CoverFlow games you this view flow control go to previous. This is what we need right here, and we need to do it in the GUI thread so we don't cause any threading issues. Go back. Okay. Something like this. Application of current, invoke. Go to previous we were calling, which basically calls update index and returns the current image info. So we need to, I need to add a method called public image info go to index int index. And then we call this dot update index return this dot images list this dot index. Image list, not images list. And we call flow control dot go to index 0, because we're going to the beginning for the star. Item.game equals this dot selected game if, oh, I see. So we're getting the particular item, and if it's not changed, we don't do anything. Otherwise, we set the selected game equal to item.game. That makes sense. Let's get rid of this stuff. So first off, though, so basically we need to come up with what the index is. So let's set index equals 0, and let's cut this out. Index equals 0. So really, I mean, no, we don't need to do this in. All right, back up. Let's cut this entire thing. And if
we're looking at star, we're going to set index equals 0. Otherwise, we need to figure out the index first. Else, we got to find the right one. And then once we have the index, we are going to do this. Go to index, index. Item.game equals this, a selected game. Selected game equals item.game. Okay. Something like that. And else. Otherwise, we need to loop through and find the right one. And I had a special, I got rid of it. I shouldn't have gotten, there it is. That's what I need. We need this down here. Okay. And we don't want the return. All right, I'll catch up in the comments here real quick. Okay. Yeah, legality. Let's, yeah, no kidding. People are jerks. Yeah. You can use Magic Engine Emulator for emulation, TurboGrafx CD. I'm not sure, to be honest. Never used it. Somebody can help him out though. Welcome, I Love Tip. Nice name. All right. It's a front end for games basically. It's sort of like Hyperspin. You can check it out. Just go to the website address up there at the top. Oh man, not this crap again. Here we go. Yeah. Most likely is the same person. Wonderful. These people are really special, aren't they? My goodness. All right. I'm trying to find the index. So we're going to copy this code for the most part. For each var game in this dot, we use the view. We got this right here. CoverFlow games view. This dot view dot flow control dot image list is what we need. Dot values. We might need the keys actually. Image list values. We got to get out the game. But we're going to have to loop through. It's going to be more complicated. For each int index in our list index in this guy. CoverFlow games view, this view flow control, image list dot keys. Okay. And Okay. We need to do a where. Let's see. Dot where index. Well, let's get a reference to that CoverFlow games view. Otherwise, we're going to be really stuck here. It's going to be ugly. Var control equals CoverFlow games view. This dot view dot flow control. There we go. Now we can just say control. Actually, it might be smarter just to use the list itself, var list, because that's what I'm interested in. Flow control dot image list. In list dot keys dot where index. Okay, list index dot game. Now what's going on over here? Brad, are you blowing bubbles? Oh man. Ban another guy, I guess. Sean Dev Andrews. Go home, buddy. There you go, Brad. Yeah, what an unfortunate human being. Index list index dot game dot. I guess first off we need this. And this becomes list index dot game dot favorite visibility. Now what is this? Favorite visibility. What is a game supposed to be here? I think it's that's not right, because the game is an actual game here, and over here it's not. I think it's game view model. So we're going to have to come back to that. But and string.compare there it is. And we need, instead of this, we need list index dot game. There we go. Then index equals list index, break the for each. All right, so we have an issue because index is already set. Can you guys hear my daughter screaming down there? Where, let's see. Li, that's fine, whatever. Li, oops. li. I think that's good. Index equals list index. Okay. Then we finally have index set. And we can call this go to index. I need to set this to 0 apparently. Something like that. All right. Okay. Let's see. You guys can hear my wife and my daughter probably screaming at each other. Yeah. It's wonderful. I'll be right back, guys. Give me a second. All right, guys. Welcome to my life. All right, back to work. Daughter's happy, wife is happy. Now I can code. So basically, favorite visibility. I think what that is doing is figuring out whether the game is marked as favorited or not. And it's twofold. I think we can just go game.favorite and get rid of this visible thing. Or wait a minute, was it checking? It's checking to make sure it wasn't visible. So we need to say not game.favorite. So basically, if we're not showing favorited games first, or if it's not a favorite, then we jump to it. I think that's correct. I think we'll be okay there. We can get rid of this and build. And I don't know, we'll see. We'll see if this works. All right. Oh, duh. I gotta fix that. Excuse me. Yeah, something's not working. Let's see what I'm doing wrong. All right. We gotta exit out of that. Don't really want you guys seeing my personal conversations here. And I'm not gonna be able to hide it, am I? Stop talking. I'm live. Bye-bye. All right. Ah! I might have to stop soon, guys. My family is so intrusive. Okay. Well, we'll get this working hopefully first. That was my wife, Brad. Josh is in there somewhere too. All right, so anyways, something wasn't working. We weren't, I know exactly why it wasn't working. This wasn't even being called. I forgot to add the command up here. Duh. This dot selected index changed plus equals. Wait a minute, that's not right. What was that method called? Yeah, this needs to change. It's not games list view model. It's CoverFlow games view model. Selected index changed. Let's change the name of that. Build. Thanks, Brad. Thank you very much. He was in the list. Josh was in the list, yeah. Josh is my brother. Hey, everybody. I think I'm going to wrap up here once we get this working. And maybe we can continue this stuff. I'm not sure. I might come back on. I'm not sure. We'll have to see depending on if I get some peace or not. Let's go into a Nintendo Wii. We jump to, yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's actually working. It's just weird because not many in this list. Still slow, of course. And I'm still generating the cache apparently for some of these NES ones. But look at this. The basic functionality is there, guys. Woohoo! So we have some more tweaking to do, obviously. It's ugly. Not exactly what we want. But good progress. Definitely good progress. Beautiful. See, I'm not a complete useless fool. All right. Okay, guys. For those of you who are still here, I really appreciate all you guys for connecting up. I think this was a huge win for our first live streaming development session. Really appreciate it. And it went so well. I'll be doing it more often. I'll at least do it once a week, but I expect I'll probably do it more often than that. Sometimes it's a challenge with being not interrupted with my family. It's no big deal to develop while my family's around, typically, but when they can't talk to me, they don't like that. So they're spoiled. They're used to me working from home for too long. So anyways, but yeah, I think we'll do more of this. Probably be done with it for today.